to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hertz on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and C.J.
Good morning, Memphis and the Mid-South and Tennessee and Arkansas and Mississippi and the Boot Heel, where we are very popular, and also the United States writ large, and also the world and indeed the universe. Good morning, everybody. How's that?
I think that's good.
Is that going to catch on?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Good morning, everybody.
I like the deep into the universe part.
Well, because we're sending the radio signals out, as you know, and those are just sort of going out there. And who's to say where they stop? I mean, who's to say who wouldn't get them at some point? So, perhaps years, decades, centuries later, some person or creature may hear this on galaxies far away, and that's awesome. And I want to wish them a good morning or evening or whatever time it is in there.
They're going to be real confused if they listen to this show.
Agreed. But
light years away.
I mean,
eons away. And we're like, what in the hell is going on Earth?
What is Earth? What is Earth? Didn't Earth get blown up a long time ago? Yeah.
You're right around 2020. Around midway through 2020, actually. Yeah.
2020 was pretty bad. Pretty bad deal. So, in spite of that, though, we're going to do our best here over the next 3 hours to bring you lots of fun from the Family Leisure Studios. I am Peter Edmiston. He is C.J. Hurt.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Getting geared up. It is a holiday week for me, and it's hard being here today, and I'm assuming it's going to be hard being here tomorrow. But I'm going to try and focus.
It's going to really be hard tomorrow.
I'm going to try and focus. The week of holidays is hard for me, man.
The Juneteenth, you can feel the Juneteenth Eve is
yes, it's hard. It is hard. The Thanksgiving week Tuesday, oh, that is impossible. Mm-hmm. And forget it on Wednesday. When I had a regular people job, Wednesday was just to party. That is all Wednesday was. Like that's everybody, true. We're going to potluck, come in, do work for about half the day, which I can't speak for anybody else, but I didn't do. I did work for like 5 minutes when I clocked in, and then I just wandered around. If you have papers in your hand, check this out. Papers in your hand with a sense of urgency in your step, you don't ever have to do anything. And nobody's ever going to stop you. And that was what I did all day Wednesday.
That's exactly it. Well, and I mean, the same thing with school, too, is when you would go to, school, when you knew it was like the week of Thanksgiving or the week of a holiday or something like that. Obviously, Juneteenth, 4th of July, all that stuff is not really, that's not really relevant to school most time. But, for Thanksgiving or for anything like that, Christmas holidays or whatever, when you had a short week, I got nothing done. the entire week I got, and then zero. No, because it wasn't going to happen. Teachers just trying in vain to get you to pay attention. No, not going to happen. We're going to do our best, though. I'm going to do my best to get you locked in on this show. Even though we are a couple days away, and you're not going to be on the show on Friday. As a result of that, it'll be me and Zach, and maybe a special guest. We'll see.
Ooh,
we'll see how things go. But in the meantime, so CJ's, while we got you, we're going to take full advantage of this time that we have together. Coming up on the show today, obviously we're going to get into some of the details of the NBA's return to or action are out, and there are some incredible details. And I do mean details. There are details. It's detailed. I'll give you that. It's definitely detailed.
Yes.
So you got that going for you. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about baseball continuing to be an embarrassment to itself and everyone else. That's going to be exciting. I've got some bad news, maybe a little bit of good news. We'll see how it all plays out. And most importantly, we're about to read off.
Here we go.
A bunch of fun stuff because, yes, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen. You can join the program. 67129 on the text line, 67129 on the text line if you want to be part of the what we love our introduction of our good friend Zach, the producer of the program, And you people out there have flooded us
So many.
with
Got a
rhymes.
couple this morning also.
Got great bars. Keep them coming. We're going to get to as many as we can, and if we don't get them to them today, we'll get to them tomorrow. We do it every day, so we got plenty of space. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of opportunity to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, producing the program today. You hear that music, so you know it's that time. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Baron of Not Sharon. He is the Prince of Whitehaven. He is the Deacon of the Dollar, Reverend Stacks. You gonna hit him with it?
Oh, me? He is the Prince of Whitehaven, and veggies he does be a craving.
Well, give me some of the texters.
Texter, he got salad in his tummy, thinks oatmeal raisin cookies are yummy.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
let's get
oh,
it going.
oh.
Another texter, he can't have any kind of chocolate. It melts on his money in his pocket. Didn't
Oh.
see that one? That was hot
Oh.
right there.
That's a high level of
That's
difficulty.
good
Trying
one
to get
right there,
chocolate in
chocolate.
there. That's okay.
Another text, he can't have caffeine because his mama will get mean. If he does have that caffeine, I love it.
Sort of an ABA thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You got one today? Or are you just going to let the people do since you in the mood
Oh,
to
I
not
did-
do anything for this week? You just going?
Is it my go or your go? Because I did
It's your
one.
go.
It's my go again?
Oh, I thought you did the people's go.
No, I did my go, and then I read off the text, so now it's back to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he don't eat no bacon, but he loves to get them pockets shaken.
Okay. He ain't never been on a date, and he really don't like eating steak.
Well, he's been on a date. He's been on dates before.
He's been on 1 or 2 dates. And he really doesn't like eating steaks. There we go. I fixed it.
Let's see. Hang on.
Got a text about us as a collective.
Okay.
If you ain't listening to Peter and CJ in the morning, where you at? The show is jammed because Jelly don't shake like that.
Woo!
You know it, Raider C, Raider Core.
Woo!
Thank you, sir.
Oh, wait, it's not soft.
No, it's not Soft Rock Tuesday. That's only on Tuesday.
Just throwing it up.
Can't throw it up on Wednesday
Come on.
unless we make that just our international symbol.
If I start throwing up the W's, that would be that might not. That might
No,
not work so good.
don't do that.
Don't be doing that. Okay. All right, we'll be doing that. Gotta be careful.
Another texter. Do you got one? Want me to go to this
I'm
text?
just gonna wipe the slate. Go to the text real fast.
He eat a carrot in a flash while saving all that cash.
He's got strength like Goku watching how to cook veggies on his Roku.
Okay. I see you, Peter E.
Woo!
I see you.
Woo!
He's got a bald spot on his head. And in the morning he gets out of bed. I don't know. I don't know. I dropped it.
All right. Keep yours coming in. 67129. See if you can beat that one that CJ did.
Oh,
I bet
that's
you
not
can.
going to be hard.
I bet you can. I bet you can.
He
Let's
ain't
do
from
it.
Buffalo, but he loves them Bills, but no meat in his meals.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. He's ladies and gentlemen, I will just tell everybody. He's Similac Zach, one of the original Dairy Boys in the building, now and forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Boy.
Yo, what's
What do you
happening?
think about the people jumping in here and
Let's see. I think the last one that CJ read off was he ain't from Buffalo, but he loves them Bills, but no meat in his meals. That was pretty complex, but I was following along.
You like that?
I was following along. I like so far the Zebo double one yesterday was like is number one on my list.
I'm feeling that he got salad in his tummy and thinks oatmeal raisin cookies are yummy. I'm feeling that one also.
What? No love for he got oatmeal raisin cookies in his belly. I prefer syrup, but he prefers jelly.
No, Peter. God.
None of that? Well, no love for that, huh? All right. Fair enough.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't, like,
I'm not explaining it.
look
That's
it
for sure.
up. I don't.
I'm definitely not explaining it. So
No, Zach, you seen that video, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
familiar with the reference? Okay, good. All right. So
Just one of the many reasons I'll never go to jail.
fingers crossed, none of us do, CJ. Let's hope. We can only hope.
Yes.
All right. So today, as we mentioned, lots to get to on the show, and the Hatchet Man is going to join us.
Man.
9 o'clock to give us the update on what's happening. And now we know some of the details about the NBA's plans. We're going to talk to him about that. Lots to get to, as always, with all of you. 67129 on that First Bank text line. You can also dial up and talk to Zach. If you want to talk to the celebrity himself, you can at 360-8255. An offshoot of that is you could be on the air with us. But maybe you just want to talk to Zach, and that's okay. 360-8255, that's the number you want to reach us to get on the air. We will have some time to take your phone calls. We're going to spin the wheel of conversation. Lots to get to here in the Family Leisure Studio. So I want to start with the little bit of breaking news this morning, and it's really unfortunate news, but I can't say it's shocking, but it's nonetheless sad. The Southern Heritage Classic is going to be canceled this year. The organizers announced this morning the Jackson State Tennessee State game with all the various festivities and excitement and fun and everything else that goes along with it is going to be canceled this year, obviously due to the COVID-19 outbreak and the difficulty of trying to organize and make everything work and trying to – I mean, it's just hard to have a classic when you can't, guarantee safety, when you can't have people congregated together and do all the events and things that go along with it. Each one of those has its same set of issues and difficulties and all that stuff. I mean, CJ, it's really unfortunate because it's such a big part of the early fall, and it's such a great event, for the whole week. Mm-hmm. Does a lot for the economy, does a lot for folks around here, and it just it sucks, but it's understandable. I got to say it's understandable, but I hate to hear it.
Yeah, it's rough. And just think about everything that the Classic entails. Not just the football game, but the parade down Park Avenue in Orange Mound and the college fair that is so big and so huge. So many schools come through, and this is a chance for kids who otherwise wouldn't have a face-to-face meeting with anybody from that particular college to get those face-to-face meetings because, the college is here. You don't have to travel to a Jackson State or to a Tennessee State. You don't have to travel to Kentucky State or to Tuskegee or Morehouse or Spelman. They come to you. Grambling, Southern, those types of schools come to you, and you get to sit down and talk to people and get your name out there and get more information on the school. But to do that requires everybody to be in one spot. To do the football game, to do the parade, to do the college fair requires the concert. Oh my gosh, the concert on the Friday night, I do believe is when the concerts usually are. Requires everybody to be a whole lot of people to be in one spot. You just can't have that. It is the Southern Heritage Classic for all the awesome things that the city of Memphis does. And there are a litany of things that the city of Memphis has going for it, and from an event standpoint, from Italian Fest to Barbecue Fest, Music Fest, all the different festivals, the Indie Memphis Movie Festival, the Southern Heritage Classic weekend for me is my favorite thing to get out there and do. We get up, we go to the parade, and it's just nonstop action for us all day long on Saturday. And on Friday with the concert, and we got nieces now who are of college age, so we are beginning to get them interested in colleges, and the plan was to take them to that college fair so that they could see and have some conversations with some people. We're just not going to be able to do that. I understand it. I knew it was going to be tough to try and pull off right at the start of the pandemic, and it just sucks, man. I am saddened. They're having a rough go of things. 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, was a game that didn't get played because of the storms that came
that
rolling
storm
through.
was just insane.
That storm
that
was
came through,
dumb.
yeah.
You couldn't play it because it was lightning strike after lightning strike after
everyone was
lightning
just
strike.
Congregated underneath.
Yeah, real
concourse
claustrophobic.
and all that stuff. Yeah, it was great.
And so that game didn't happen, and now this year's game isn't going to happen. I hope that we get the Southern Heritage Classic back in 2021 though, because it's a gem of the city. It's a really fun, really important activity event that the city of Memphis has going for it right now.
Well, and it's especially with the climate that we're in right now, the air of change, of protest, of discussion, of really putting all kinds of new ideas on the table, bringing people together. I think by the time the Classic rolled around, I think it would have been very interesting to see if the Classic, if some of the parade stuff would have been folded in to some of these goings on, if you could have seen different kinds of. I think it would have just been a really cool thing to fold. It would have just been perfect. I think you want to talk about the discussions that we had, CJ, about HBCUs and college sports and for recruits and potential what would happen. These classics are one of the great things. Classics around the country and around the South are one of the great things about HBCU football, and that's another example, something to show because it's a unique and I think particularly for young black recruits, it's a very appealing and interesting part of the thing that you don't see in a just a generic typical college football season. So the whole thing would have just been a really nice compliment. It would have been nice to bring everything together this year, especially. But like everything else, it's how do you do it? We look at we're going to talk about the NBA stuff here in just a little bit, and you look at their policy and what they're trying to. It's 113 pages of stuff, of different things you can do, can't do. That's in a relatively confined bubble space that they have a decent amount of control over at Disney. Can you imagine trying to put those things together and trying to figure out what you're going to do at all these various venues for the Southern Heritage Classic, all the things that go on? I think it would be simple enough potentially to have maybe the tailgate type stuff, the stuff outside. I think you could maybe make that work possibly. But then, the actual football game itself, you'd have to observe proper distancing, which means that you couldn't have the kind of crowd that you would normally have. Not everyone would be able to actually go to the game itself. That would pose a difficulty to figure out who's going to get the tickets, who's not. How's that all going to work out? Parade you could maybe have again, but it wouldn't have the same kind of feel to it. And then any of the indoor events, as you talked about, the concerts and the dinners and all that stuff that goes on, you probably couldn't do that. So it just doesn't work. But that doesn't mean it's easy, because it's a big part of the community and a big part of the fabric of the city. So that part just kind of sucks.
Yeah, and that tailgate is something else. I'm not sure even if it's outside you could do it, because it's just people piled in like barbecue fest. It's outside, sure, but people are just piled into these close spaces. And
the reason I say that, CJ, is because I think at this point I have to look up the stuff, but we're 2 weeks plus past the first series of protests in a lot of these cities, and the George Floyd protests that have been still going on. 3 weeks into it, we're still doing it. And there have been no major increases in the numbers. Just like there was all that talk about the Lake of the Ozarks and all that stuff. There really hasn't been a major increase from the Lake of the Ozarks to speak of. There were a few cases here and there. I'm not even sure that the numbers continue to go down in the Northeast, and so I think the outdoor stuff, we're learning more and more that as long as you're not just coughing on each other, basically, the outdoors is a pretty okay situation, seemingly in most cases. I don't think we can say that for certain, but I feel like coupled with that information, I'd like to see them try to make that tailgate work anyway. Same thing with like the Grove or what's going on for Ole Miss, and any place where they have big tailgates, all kind of everyone's sort of up on top of each other with tents and stuff on top of each other. I'd love to see them try to make it work.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping that is the case, and you're right. That the numbers seem to show. When you think about the Ozarks, that situation and the protests, that being outside certainly helps lower the risk of spreading COVID-19. But with the Classic, the Southern Heritage Classic, particularly not going on this year, what does that mean for other neutral site games? What does that mean for Liberty Bowl? Like another one of those big events here that's really, really fun. And other bowl games, the bowl game for everybody at the end of the year, depending on which bowl you go to, is a pretty big deal, especially if you get to go to one of the bigger bowls, a Liberty Bowl or a Rose Bowl or an Orange or a Citrus or something like that, one of those big-time bowls. Like that's a big deal for you. So what does this mean as far as those types of events are concerned as well? I can't imagine you not being able to have classics, the Southern Heritage Classic and others, Turkey Day Classics and others, and still being able to have like the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So I think this is a little bit of foreshadowing of what may be to come in college football at the end of the year.
It's true. And I'm sure all the organizers of all those various events, just like everyone involved with the Southern Heritage Classic, is thinking about how can we do this, balancing out risk. How can we make this thing work? No one wants to cancel it, but if you can't have it, if you can't do it, then it's not going to work, and you might as well go ahead and cancel it. So you may be right. We'll have to see. And conditions are going to be continuing to change throughout the country over the coming months. That may affect it as well. I think also the one difference, I'll say, I know we're going to take a break. The one difference is that some of the neutral site games, like the early season neutral site games, like the ones in Atlanta or the ones at Jerry World and stuff like that, I don't think there's a huge tailgate culture. Like I think there are definitely folks that tailgate, but I don't think it's anything close to the types of events that you see associated with bowl games and with classics and stuff, where there's organized tailgates and buffets and auction, and dinners and all that. I don't really think there's the level of organization around it is not quite the same, I don't think. So, you could probably have some impromptu tailgating, maybe not just the organized stuff that you see around some of these other events. When we come back, we'll talk about the NBA's return. Also, we'll talk about the Mike Gundy situation, which has took a little bit of a twist yesterday. How much of a twist, I think, is up for an interesting discussion. But we'll hear what he had to say next, and we'll talk a little bit about that when we continue. From the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive? Take the car for a couple of days if you want. Streamlined buying process. You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
O'Reilly. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $28.95 and get a $10 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. You can even order at O'ReillyAuto.com and we'll deliver it curbside. Protect your engine from sludge and wear at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Golf is back, and DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action. It's easy to play. Just pick 6 golfers, stay under the salary cap, and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off on Thursday. Download the DraftKings app now and use code HERD. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code HERD, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hurt. Here once again are Peter and C.J.
We're doing like superhero theme. We're doing like, okay, this is a classic right here.
You know what's great about what Zach just said? Only you heard him.
Well, he said, yes, we are.
Okay. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
You know, whenever I talk to Zach during the break,
stop doing that.
Inevitably just ends up being trouble. You got to remember, you got to put just hit those little buttons again, Zach. That's all you got to do. They're 2 little buttons.
Yeah, I know. And they're so small that
they're tiny little buttons.
They're tiny little buttons, and I tend to forget them because once I get done talking to Peter, I'm off to taking care of something else. So,
Zach, as somebody who has sat over there in the past 2.5 months, I'm just teasing. You're doing a great job. Don't put me back over there. There's a lot happening over there. I understand. I just like to tease every now and then.
And it's tough because when he's talking to me. Obviously, that's an exciting thing for anyone. Talking to me, I'm sure that some of the great things I'm saying, I'm sure that guy got his head all messed up because, just like, wow, another insightful comment from Peter. I'm sure that's. I would imagine that's what's going through his head, right?
I doubt it. It. It's probably. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this dude is on radio. He is terrible.
Is that what he's saying?
That's probably what he's saying.
You think that's what he's saying?
I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying, isn't it?
Well, I'm about to ask.
Yeah, most of the time.
You're about to have both of you guys are about to have to issue an apology to me. I'm going to ask you guys to issue a uncomfortable apology on camera
I got you.
to me.
I got you. Well, we're on camera.
Yeah. Yep. If you could just be very surly and sort of. All right, so let's hear Mike. If you remember the Mike Gundy situation, it started with it started with his comments about the One America News network months ago, in which he said that they were just a good straight shooting network and just no BS, just right down the middle. To which his players said, "Well, that's not really true. They've called the Black Lives Matter movement fraud. They've vilified black people. It's been a pretty terrible thing, really, full of conspiracy theories and nonsense, and actively negative towards the black community in general." So then he was depicted wearing a T-shirt of that same network, and Chuba Hubbard, star running back, says, "No, we can't be doing this." And so then yesterday there was a sort of an awkward, both on camera kind of acknowledgement of the situation, and Hubbard issuing kind of a tepid apology for going about it in a public way on Twitter. Mike Gundy not apologizing for anything, just sort of saying, "Hey, we had some talks." And then he issued something more closer to an apology, or an actual apology in some respects, yesterday. And here's what he had to say in the revised video that definitely looked a little unnerving. The looks that he's given to the camera. It's a little bit of a strange one, but here's what he had to say.
I had a great meeting with our team today. Our players expressed their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days. Black Lives matter to me. Our players matter to me. These meetings with our team have been eye-opening and will result in positive changes for Oklahoma State football. I sincerely hope the Oklahoma State family, near and far, will accept my humble apology as we move forward.
Well, that was different.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
Thank you. But I'm not a part of the Oklahoma State family, but I think that was a much better apology, a much better acknowledgement of what that network really represented and what's really going on with them. I also think that somebody, not a player, got into Mike Leach and said, "Hey, sit down. We need to have a very real conversation about this." Or, "Hey, sit down. You need to really listen to what your players are saying." I don't know if it was a parent. I don't know if it was administration or what. But somebody got into Mike Leach's ear and was like, "Sit and listen." Mike, did I say Leach? Why I keep saying Leach? Because that's another one. Mike Gundy got into Mike Gundy pretty good here. It was like, sit down and listen. And it may also be Mike Gundy trying to save face a little bit, because he knows if he can't go into that player's house and out-recruit like Kansas State or Texas Tech or somebody like that, he's going to be in serious trouble. Oklahoma and Texas, that's a different animal entirely. But to not be able to out-recruit some of the other schools in the Big 12, it may lead to him not being at Oklahoma State much longer. So I appreciate him going out there and making that sort of a statement. I hope that it is for the right reasons and not for the selfish reason of, I need to be able to win football games.
So, I mean, from my perspective at least, I think it's good that he made a much more obvious and full-throated attempt at an apology in a discussion about getting a little closer to what was really going on. But I don't know, man. To me, it's still a little frustrating that I just find it hard to believe that this would be the first time that he would have been aware of this network's view on Black Lives Matter and what kind of impact that would have on his team and his players. Like, that just seems it requires me to give him an extraordinary benefit of the doubt with regard to his lack of awareness. Like that requires an extraordinary lack of awareness to think about, to be watching this and to be a fan of this stuff and to be watching it on a regular basis enough to where, at the very least, you're wearing a T-shirt. Either they sent you one or you just bought one. I don't know how you can get the T-shirt.
Mike Leach doesn't strike me as somebody who's buying his own T-shirt.
We're going. Mike Leach, my dad. Mike Leach doesn't either.
No coach strikes me as somebody who's out here buying T-shirts. People are sending them stuff for free.
So, and he's fine with having a picture taken and all that stuff. I mean, this is the stuff that's on that network is crazy. And so when I hear a comment like, they helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, that part is just confusing to me.
I think
it's to me it's a little, I don't know. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad it's happening, but that part, it feels like we are not addressing the core of the issue, which is, I'm okay with watching this for months and months and months and months and months until somebody calls to my attention that it might be inconvenient for my players to, who the majority of whom are black and who are being vilified by this network. And maybe that's probably not a great thing for a coach to be doing. Oh, you're right. Boy, I need to I didn't even think about that. How could you not think about it? We talk about players having awareness all the time. Like, it's a little bit like the Drew Brees stuff. Like, how could you, it blows my mind that you couldn't be aware of what's going on, like what's happening. That's just, I don't know, man. I find that crazy.
Rules are changing real quick, like all of a sudden. And what was cool January is no longer acceptable, and it's going to take people a while to adjust to the new social norm. That is, this is not about a flag, and networks who overtly portray black people in super negative lights are not real news networks. Like, it's going to take people like Gundy a while to catch up, because he's still thinking like, it's 2018. I can certainly say these things and get away with it. I've been doing this my whole career. What's different now? What's changed now? He doesn't understand that there's a movement of empowerment going on in the black community, and things like this aren't going to be tolerated. You see it popping up all over the nation from a college football standpoint. When you think about what's going on in Iowa, what happened right at the start of the pandemic with Mississippi State, what happened down at Florida State with Coach Mike Norvell, and now what's going on at Oklahoma State. Black players hadn't had this sort of empowerment before, and they have it now. And Mike Gundy and other coaches are playing catch up, trying to adjust to the new way that they're going to have to interact with their players, and the new way that they're going to have to go about doing things. Players is not going to be enough to say, I know we're dealing with, or I know I'm going to this university and they've got some racist views, thoughts, and opinions. But this is a university that's going to get me to the next level, so I need to be there, and I just have to, suck it up and deal with it. Players are no longer taking that stance, no longer taking that approach. Players are calling out universities, calling out coaches in particular about some of these racist ideals that they're holding on to. And so it's good for the players, and it's good for everybody in general. Those thoughts need to be eradicated from not only the college landscape, but from our minds as Americans as well. And it's going to take a minute for a coach like Gundy, for a coach like Leach, for a coach like Ferentz and others, I'll throw Dabo in there, and others to catch up to that train of thought. If they want to continue to coach, though, they have to make this adjustment. They have to.
It's a little bit like the sort of the scale of what's valuable or what matters or what you're allowed to get away with or whatever it is how you want to phrase it. It's a little bit like what happened with Bobby Knight. Back in the 70s, 80s, Bobby Knight and the way that he treated his players, black and white, was just as awful as it was in the early 90s. But people, the trade-off of I'm going to send my son, or I'm going to go have him be coached by this guy is better. He's the coaching is worth it. The value of that is worth it. We're okay with it. We can overlook that until it got to the point when societally we couldn't overlook it anymore. And all of a sudden, Bobby Knight went from one of the most well-known coaches out there to outcast pretty quickly. Didn't take long, and he ended up working TV or whatever. But then even beyond that, and considered kind of the actions that were at one point sort of laughed at and kind of chuckled off became vilified.
Yeah,
people saw him for what he was, the bully that he was. I think you're seeing the same kind of land shift under some of these coaches with regard to this stuff. Yeah, I don't think the recruits going forward and people are going forward who are dealing with these coaches are going to be able to just say, they'll write it off. Say, so do you like you're a fan of that OAN, huh? Moms and dads and family members and asking coaching staff. Was that what you think? Does that represent your views? Okay. I'm not sure I want my child to be involved with your program if that's the case. Whereas before it wasn't really a big deal, or it wasn't really thought about, or it wasn't part of the discussion, or you could just sort of it was
just accepted. We just accepted
it, or
like,
just assumed, there's no alternative. We can't demand better. That kind of stuff. I think I think that is changing, and those views are going to be challenged now. To say, is that really how you feel? Why do you feel that way? Okay, well, if you do, then maybe this is not going to work for me. That's a big difference.
Peter, I'm sorry. You're right. You're pretty good.
Do what?
I said you're pretty good.
No,
I apologize.
I was like, what? That's
my fault. I apologize. Zach, would you like to issue your statement right now?
No, yeah. Peter's great. I listen to him all the time.
I hope so. We'll come back. How can I? You can't beat that. We'll talk NBA and much more. Oh man, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Check out Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Oh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Golf is back, and DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action. It's easy to play. Just pick 6 golfers, stay under the salary cap, and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off on Thursday. Download the DraftKings app now and use code HERD. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code HERD, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Family Leisure is here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Who's this? Is this Luke Skywalker?
No.
What is it?
Captain America.
Oh.
I didn't know Captain America had a theme like this.
Is that the end credits, isn't it?
Yep. End credits in the movie. I think this is the first Avenger.
Okay.
Captain America.
That's America's ass.
Captain America. Captain America. He's about America. Do-dee-dee-dee-doo. And by America, we mean United States, not America. North America. That's different.
No.
Captain North America is not nearly as popular.
What would Captain North America look like?
I mean, he'd probably have like a sort of a maple leaf somewhere, and some
Mhm.
stars and stripes somewhere. As
Have
well.
a hawk eating a snake somewhere.
Yeah, and like a hockey stick, probably just to kind of represent the. Yeah, I think we could make that work. Like a baseball uniform with like a hockey stick.
Mm-hmm.
Eating apple pie and some poutine.
Wow.
Not together, that'd be terrible. But
Apple pie and poutine with a taco somewhere around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I mean, that's exciting. This is exciting. All right, so as we continue here, Peter and CJ with you, we're going to talk to Rob Fisher at 9 o'clock. We were talking about we've talked about the Mike Gundy situation. We've talked about the cancellation of the Southern Heritage Classic. The NBA will not be canceled. It doesn't appear, although it's still possible. Players. It's not certain that the players are going to participate in all this, but it's looking, I would say, more likely than not that they will at this point. And we'll talk about the details of their documentation, which is quite extraordinary in all the detail. But before we do that, baseball, still, CJ, there's still nothing cooking. And one of the great, I've seen a lot of people writing about this, and I've read a lot of stuff about this. And I'm not, the world's biggest baseball fan, so it's not really doesn't affect me in the same way as it does other folks. But I've not seen a commissioner get ripped the way that Rob Manfred is getting ripped down since Gary Bettman in the NHL, back in the when they were going through all of their issues. This is an absolute beatdown from every columnist up and down. Mike Vaccaro of the New York Post just destroyed him. I mean, God. Ken Rosenthal, a very even keel writer in The Athletic, really just laid it on him. Jeff Passan, ESPN, laid it on him. These are normally pretty balls and strikes guys, except for Vaccaro, and they've been destroying Manfred because he's. This is the commissioner of the sport. It's supposed to be a steward of the game, all that stuff, right? And he's about to watch an entire season get flushed down the toilet because of money in a deal that, frankly, is already beneficial to the owners. Their franchise values have already gone up. They're making money on this thing, but they just want more, and they want to keep taking and taking and taking, and players have called their bluff on it, and rather than getting hit with grievances and other sorts of things, they would just, at this point, seemingly rather shut the whole thing down. It's a disgrace, and if you lose another baseball season, when they've already had so many jeopardized, I don't. Long term for the sport, it can't be good. I mean, I'm not saying that baseball is just going to stop being relevant, but in the eyes of a lot of young people, it's not nearly as relevant as it used to be, and this ain't going to help.
We say that it's not nearly as relevant as it used to be, and it's true, it's not. But those franchise values keep going up, and if you work for the owners, you got to do what I guess is best to line their pockets, not just the game. And so Manfred is in a tough spot. Not saying he's doing a good job at it at all, because he's not. He should be able to, as the commissioner, sit down with the other owners or with the owners and say, hey, listen, I get it, but if we don't have a season, man, you guys are going to lose money over the long haul. He should be able to sit down with them and explain to them how this is detrimental not only to the sport of baseball, but to their pockets as well. And I don't know if those conversations, if they're happening, aren't happening either enough or well enough to convince the owners to chill out some. And so everybody's getting on to Manfred, and rightfully so. He's the commissioner. He should find a way to make this work for both the players and the owners. The 77-game season isn't, or at the time, wasn't, like, you're still getting a deal because it's prorated salaries. You're not paying for a little bit more than half of the season if it's prorated. So, like, come on, man. That seemed to be a good enough deal. Everybody seemed to have given something to get something, and the owners and Manfred, as the face of the owners, like, no, let's take this all the way down to 50. And then, like, that's not even a real baseball season if you go to 50 games. It's not, and it's all done to try and keep the owners from having to not only pay out money this year, but to get that salary cap in place that they so desperately want, and players aren't going for it. Eventually, cut your losses, man, and just get the season going.
No, and if they try to push a 50-game season, that they agreed in March to a deal that the owners had to try. They would play for a season and have prorated salaries for that season, as long as the owners made a good faith effort to make the season as long as it possibly could be. But the owners try to push a 50-game season where it's 30% of your salary. The players will rightly say you could have done more, and you could have pushed more, and that grievance would likely be would likely be passed or would be approved or whatever within the arbitration, and so that would cost the owners hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't want to face that, so they also don't want to pay prorated as much as they can. They're worried about their losses. Again, it's a historical thing. When the players do not share in the rise of profits and the rise of franchise values, the players do not share in that, but the players are typically asked to share in the losses when things go wrong. That is typically the way that business in this country has worked in a lot of different ways. And so that's thankfully for the players that they have a strong union and they don't have to accept that kind of stuff. We'll see, but it doesn't look great as of this point. They need to get it done ASAP, or else you're just going to run out of time. There's no point in continuing if you're going to keep doing it like this. When we come back, we'll talk about the specifics of the NBA plan. There are so many specifics. Ping pong, cards, magic bands. Oh, the list is incredible. We'll talk about it when we continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus trade-in towards any participating Cobra inline golf clubs. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
What is this? Who is this?
The Hulk.
No.
Iron Man?
No.
Green Lantern?
No.
Hercules?
No.
Is there a
Walker,
Hercules
Texas
movie?
Ranger?
Who is that?
This is Wonder Woman.
Oh. Okay.
Superhero scores, I guess. These are sort of the orchestral themes of the superheroes. We're doing that today on this hump day. It's a beautiful day. Outside, the lovely, not too humid. Maybe a little more than it was yesterday, but still very nice out there. So go take a little walk, put the jam box on, and take us out there with you when you're out there.
Get your iPod.
No.
No,
We're
the
more
iPod.
of a Walkman. We got
Okay.
the Walkman with the those real cheap headphones that made out of
Did those headphones? Those headphones
cardboard.
couldn't have fit on your head, did they?
Not well, no.
Okay.
No, they would, but they would break quickly because they'd be so
Yeah.
stretched that it would loosen the plastic up. It wouldn't take long to. Yeah, I go through headphones. I'm pretty hard on headphones, as you might expect.
Yes. I do.
These are high quality right here. What I like is that when my hair is up like this, you can't even see my headphones.
No, at all.
You literally, it's like totally. If you see, look at CJ's head. He has the same headphone on that I do, but he could see his because his head is completely shaved, whereas you cannot see mine at all because my head is the opposite of shaved. Zach, meanwhile, continues to just hit that backwards hat hard. Not that thing is just glued to the head. You're not going to get that thing off.
Even though, like, we can see the front part.
Yeah. We can see the
right here. We can see the front part.
Yeah. We can see
Can you though?
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking at it. I can. You hold it up. You can hold it up. We don't see it, but hold your hair regular. We can see the front part.
I can still see it. The camera can see it perfectly. So sorry. It's just how you can't hide that forever. Just get those clippers, man. You can do it. You can do it. Coming up here in about an hour, we're going to talk to our friend Rob Fisher, the Hatchet Man, about all sorts of things that are going on in Hatchet Man's world. The NBA is trying to come back. We shall see how that goes. But the details of this plan have emerged. We talked about how the details would be telling with this whole thing. The NBA is still trying to come back. July 30th would be the opening set of games or game, and then they'd go from there, have the 8 seeding games to finish out the regular season, go through the playoffs and all that stuff. So the details of how this thing's going to work, this is pretty incredible. 113-page document was sent to teams' health and safety protocols, it was called. And this is I have to say my first reaction to reading all this stuff. We'll get into some of the details, but the first reaction to me was, this is so incredibly insane to have to go through all this stuff to play the season. It really seems like if we have to do it like this, boy, I don't know. There's so many things that just paint a picture of a weird. Like a futuristic tech dystopian future thing. You're in a paradise world in some respects, but you're also in this miserable world. And I don't know, man. We'll talk about it. But to me, my first thought was, really, all this to play basketball?
That's been my thoughts since it was announced that they were planning on coming back, because you're going to have to take so many different. You're going to have so many different policies and procedures in place to mitigate the chance of spreading the coronavirus. And that's not even to eliminate the risk. That's just to mitigate it. And if you're taking all of these, if you've got all these policies and procedures in place, it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to feel like sports as we know it. Sports as the people out there competing know it. So what is going to be the point? You're going to have all these rules and regulations in place, and you're not even going to stop the spread. You're just hoping not to spread it to everybody. So that's been my thought and my stance on it from jump. And then you get it's 113 pages, and it's just like, my God, you got to do what? And even with that, I still have questions as to how they're going to actually mitigate the risk of spreading it. I still am not sure if this is going to be a good enough plan to bring this particular sport back, giving the risk-reward scenario of the coronavirus versus finishing out the NBA season and crowning the champion and getting paid. Like, there's still, even with 113 pages, there's still questions and things left unanswered.
Well, it's a very weird futuristic thing that they're gonna do. So everyone that comes down there is going to have to wear a Magic Band. Magic Band, if you've been to Disney, you know what that is. It's like a wristband that you wear at all times. That is your hotel room key, your meal card, all that stuff, your check-ins at rides, everything else. You just do a boop, and then that's what you got. For the NBA, they're going to add additional control functions. It'll also be security checkpoint. It'll check in for coronavirus testing. It'll glow green if you're good. If it shows a different color, then you'll have additional medical attention that will have to be taken care of. If you're sick. You also have the option of wearing a ring on your finger that uses body temperature and respiratory heart rate to provide a wellness assessment and can give you an idea of whether or not you might be showing signs of coronavirus.
When the hell did we get this technology?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. So you got a wristband and a mood ring that tells you how sick you are, potentially, for all of this stuff. So they're going to test starting next week. They begin testing. Each player and essential staff member must undergo a high-sensitivity PCR. That's the norm. That's kind of the standardized traditional test that they've been running for COVID-19. And then a high-sensitivity serology antibody test as well. They will do these testings in Phase 2. Then they will test again in Orlando for Phase 3, which is the beginning of July, and Phase 4, which is the middle of July. They will continue to be tested. If someone tests positive, then now here comes the thing. Someone tests positive, then they will be placed in isolation housing. So they will be quarantined on the site in a hotel room or house or some other facility that's away from their current location. They will have their first test, then they'll be given a second test within 24 to 48 hours to make sure that it will be that's not a false positive. And then if it also tests positive again, then they have to go through the quarantine situation, which means they're isolated until they are asymptomatic. They return at least 2 negative tests more than 24 hours apart. And then they have to have a medical evaluation beyond that. And then they have to have a cardiac screening after that. All of the contacts that were close to this person are going to be the focus of a contact tracing situation as well. So it's a deeply complicated process to quarantine these individuals that may be symptomatic. If they need to be hospitalized, obviously they would go to the hospital at that point. But for now, at least they're going to be sort of quarantined and put to the side. Again, this is, if someone tests positive. We talked about yesterday with the Fort Benning example in Georgia. Just because someone tests negative going into the bubble does not mean that that's necessarily a sign that they are negative. There's all sorts of issues with the testing even now, and if one person slips through, that's all it takes, especially when you're in a bubble situation. So they have it somewhat covered, CJ, but again, this is just wild to me.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure if there can be a better plan in place, but because we don't know a whole lot, we're still learning so much about COVID-19. Any plan is not really a good plan because you just don't know. There are known knowns, there are known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns. Things you don't know. And coronavirus right now is full of those unknown unknowns, and you won't know until you get into that situation what the actual plan should be or if your plan will actually work. They have resigned themselves to positive tests. They know that people are going to test positive for COVID-19, and it is worth it to go out there and put out a NBA product, whatever that may look like. I wonder, though, and this is the thing I keep coming back to. You've brought it up a couple of times as well. What's the threshold? Is it, let's say 5 or 6 players on one team all come down with it. Sure, you can go out there and sign more players, but for what? Like, what good is that going to do? You're going to be in the first round of the playoffs, and 5 or 6 dudes on one team come down with the coronavirus. You're going to go out there and sign 5 or 6 more players just to have them come out there and lose the next couple of games because there's no chemistry, that they're not going to be in basketball shape. Like, what is the point of that?
Well, then you sign them. I mean, what are they doing in the meantime? Because if you sign them and bring them into
they got to wait 14.
They got to wait for quarantine. So you can't. I don't think you can just bring them in. Like, whoever's in there is whoever's in there. Like, that's it. There's just a lot of issues there that could potentially come up. We'll have to see how it all kind of goes. There are players who are probably positive now, as we've seen around the rest of sports. Baseball players, football players. I mean, statistically speaking, it's likely that there are some cases that are out there. It doesn't. They say that they expect that there will be some positive cases, and as long as they're an acceptable level, then it won't affect play. But they don't say what that acceptable level is. So we don't know what that is. We don't know how many. Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 1? Is it what's the number? Where they would say, okay, well, we gotta shut this baby down. It sounds to me like the number is like very large. I mean, I think they are determined to try to do this thing, and so whatever it may be. They've also got video. Players are expected to maintain presence in this campus. They are not expected to leave. They can't. If they do leave, there's a re-entry quarantine protocol. But the expectation is that they will not leave this Disney campus no matter what. They're going to be on there. You are basically stuck there for however long your season ends up going. And you're also expected to maintain social distance throughout. They have ways of enforcing that. There will be potentially even alarms with players being too close together that will beep or make some kind of noise if players are too close together. My favorite part is the anonymous hotline that the NBA has available for reporting purposes. Teams are, quote, required to report immediately to the league office any information regarding any potential or actual violation. So it's an anonymous hotline. Now, this has led to a lot of speculation that Chris Paul is going to be hitting this hotline up pretty hard.
Yes, you know it. Look, gamesmanship from CP3.
I'm pretty sure I saw LeBron and Anthony Davis within 3 feet of each other.
Chris, come on, man.
My name is Les Paulmanson. That's what that'll work. Yeah, that's right.
Chris, is that you? Get off the phone.
Shut up. I mean, it's just that's what it's going to be. Staff members, if staff members are violated, are caught violating this stuff, they can be kicked out of the campus and not replaced.
That's Cliff Paul. I mean Chris Paul.
Cliff. The players, like staff from teams, can be kicked out and there's no warning. They can be kicked out and they can't come back, and the teams can't replace them either. So if one of your trainers is doing something stupid, then whoop, they're out and they can't be replaced. If your GM is out doing something stupid, then whoop, they're out, can't be replaced. So it's going to be tricky. Now, in case you are worried about how players will pass the time inside this bubble, don't worry. They got things under control.
Oh, they got some adult stuff for the players to do?
They do.
Things grown-ups like to do?
You've got a 24-hour VIP concierge available to assist with requests for activities, products, or services. So that's lovely. Team-sponsored outings, the restaurants, boating, bowling, fishing, golfing. Access to Disney's Animal Kingdom and Disney's Wild Africa Trek. Access to the NBA experience, which I think they already have a pretty good feel for the NBA experience, NBA players. But they got pool. Trails for running, riding bikes, all that stuff, personal services, barbers, manicures, pedicures, hair braiders, etc. Available by appointments. That's all on the campus. Players-only lounge with video games, arcades, ping pong, movie screenings, DJ sets, and a whole lot more. One of the great things the NBA noticed is that there is to be no doubles playing during ping pong. You cannot play doubles ping pong.
Texter brought that up. If you could play NBA games, why can't you play doubles ping pong?
You can't. The NBA has said you cannot play doubles ping pong.
But why? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Because you're in it's a different environment. I would assume you're in an more enclosed space. You're closer together for a longer period of time. When you're playing NBA baseball, or basketball, you're close together for a little bit, and then you separate out. You're not standing next to each other for 10, 15 minutes straight, whereas you are in doubles ping pong. On top of that, they can play cards, but each deck of cards is disposed of after use. So you can't sit and play cards. But each of these cards, yes, each card, all the cards are disposable. So when you're done playing with your deck, you just throw it away. the NBA has said that, quote, sufficient decks of cards will be made available. So you're buying playing cards by the pallet here. So if you want to play cards,
they'll put
cool.
that to the test.
That's cool, but we got to throw those cards away. You cannot reuse that. No caddies during golfing, no sharing of clubs and balls, hand sanitizer used throughout. The front bench, the coaches and players on the first row of the bench do not have to wear masks, although they are encouraged to, but they don't have to. The staff members on the second row of the bench do have to wear masks. So you will see masks on the second row of the bench and all those sorts of things. The mask wearers include the medical training staff, the scorers table crew, ball boys, equipment attendants, on-court broadcast staff, in-arena staff, and individuals observing the games, including whatever media is there. Referees, statisticians, and the PA announcer are not required to wear masks, in case you were wondering. Disney staff members do not necessarily have to be tested, and they will be able to go in and out, but they cannot go to anybody's room. They will have to kind of clean and do all that stuff, but they are not going to be. That could be an issue because they're not going to be required to go through the same protocol, and they're not going to be required to stay inside the bubble either. So, if one of them were to get sick, I mean, Disney has its own little protocol, but it's not as stringent as the NBA's. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. There's so many questions. CJ.
I still don't get the ping pong thing, but I got you. Let's do our best. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3 team. This is wild. The protocols and procedures they got in place is absurd. Think about that. Think about what that means for these guys. And like those aren't grown-up activities either. Some of these dudes, James Harden and others, they like to frequent a club or two. They like to see some stuff move. Like to see a little shake, a little bounce in that thing. Where are they at? What part of Disney World are those people? Where are the gentleman ballerinas going to be? That's what I want to know.
That they would have to be.
If you want to keep players on site, you've got to have that, don't you? Because I know they're going to sneak off to go get some of that, see some of that.
Well, what?
I know when that hotline bling.
This has got to be Minnie Mouse, basically.
Oh, Daisy Duck got a dunk.
Daisy
Duck got a. She got a donkey butt. Daisy Donk. Yes, that's what I like to call it. Daisy Donk. Minnie, not so much. Daisy, and she not wearing no pants either.
So she's Winnie the Pooh in it.
Yes, she is.
What? So what? We're gonna have all the Disney princesses lined up at their hotels or something like that? Is that the plan that they want to have?
I mean, that wasn't mentioned in the.
I don't see that in there. I don't see why not. I mean,
I don't see.
I would think Daisy Duck would be the better one because hers is so voluptuous, and it's high. It's a voluptuous and it's high. She got a voluptuously high booty.
Voluptuous.
Mm-hmm.
Putting that extra little symbol in there. Okay.
Yes, I am.
That would definitely make them a furry.
Is that on the wheel? Which Disney character are you?
I can put it on
most
there.
attracted to?
I'll put it on there.
Because
mine's is Elastigirl also.
Elastigirl got some significant booty.
Elastigirl's like, why would you make her this way? Why am I this way? Forget that. Why am I watching this movie? It's like, oh my gosh, look at that right there. Look at this cartoon character riding this motorcycle.
You can't help but think of it. You can't help but think that. I mean, it's right there. It's so juicy.
Man. When she gets on the motorcycle,
cheeks. The NBA team hotels are based on seating as well.
Oh, this is so good.
The Grand Destino is the sort of the hub of the thing, and that's where the teams that are most well thought of are there. The Bucks, Lakers, Raptors, Clippers, and so on. The Grand Floridian is where the Grizzlies are, and that's where kind of the mid-level sort of teams. You guys are probably going to be in the playoffs, and so we're going to go ahead and get you in this place. And apparently they have a nice character breakfast and some stuff there at the Grand Floridian, which is lovely.
Are we gonna get? Are we doing character breakfasts?
I mean, why not? Why wouldn't we? I don't know. Why wouldn't we do?
Are we
down there?
Are we having Mickey Mouse go through testing? That's my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
All right.
So. I don't know. Can mice get this? Can you transmit it via mice?
I'm pretty sure mice can get this.
But then, of course, you have now the infamous Yacht Club. The teams that are at the Yacht Club are the Blazers, Kings, Pelicans, Spurs, Suns, and Wizards. They're like that's like the slums of Disney. The Yacht Club.
Hey, you should have played harder this season, man. Should have won more games.
Sam Vicini, who was a draft analyst for the Athletic and a buddy of mine, says that from now on we should refer to teams stuck in the middle of the league as the Yacht Club.
Hey.
Like that mediocre kind of like you're the yacht. Oh, you're in the yacht. You're the yacht. You're in the Yacht Club. Yeah. Okay.
Got you.
I see.
I will. That's good.
Yacht Club. That's the Yacht Club team right there. The Yacht Club. So the Grizzlies are in the Grand Floridian. So anybody that's been to Disney, if you want to throw in a little heads up on what the differences might be in those amenities, please feel free to let me know. When I've gone to Disney, I've never actually stayed at Disney. I'm not cool enough to do that. I'm more of the staying off the campus and driving in and all that.
Same. I'm gonna do it once before I die. I'm going to stay on a Disney World property and kick it in Disney World. I'll probably have to kick it in the Yacht Club though. Like that seems to be where my wallet might allow me to be. The Yacht Club, and I'm sure that just staying there for regular people is so astronomically expensive.
Somebody put the video of Coming to America when they show Akeem his apartment in New York. You remember that scene? And somebody was like, "This is what it's going to be like when NBA players see the Yacht Club for the first time."
I'll take it.
I'll take it. What? It's a shame what they did to that dog. I mean, the Yacht Club, just for the record, the rates, if you were thinking about staying in the slum level and you just want a standard view, the cheapest I could find it early in the season for 2020 is $500 a night.
That's the slums.
And that's the slum. If you want a water view, it's about $700. And for like
a night?
Yeah, for the nicer thing, it's for like holidays, it's over $1,000. For this is the
no.
Those are for just the like standard view rooms. If you want the 2-bedroom suite, that's about $3,000
a night.
Yep.
Sheesh.
Yep. Per night.
And don't read no more prices, man.
My wallet is shivering over here, man.
That's the Yacht Club. So, the Grand Floridian. If you want to see what that might be.
I don't.
Just in case some of you out there might can afford this whole thing, and God bless you. That's beautiful. But the Yacht Club is that's the cheapest, and I don't know, man. There's probably a lot more. There's probably a lot more like cool things that are going on there for that whole deal. But I don't know, man. To me, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. The Yacht Club. Your thoughts? 67129. Feel free to send those texts in 67129. Dial up as well 360-8255. Would you be playing cards?
With a mask and gloves on, sure.
With a mask and gloves, you're gonna burn those cards when you're done with them or whatever. What's that got over there?
Oh, these are my playing cards.
His own personal card.
Why you got these? What are you guys doing?
No,
I just game going.
No, yeah. I keep a deck in my backpack everywhere I go. So
never know when somebody wants to get this work in space.
I'm just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that policy. Just let's play. Come on. Want to play spades? We want to play. Let's go. 67129. Feel free to send those thoughts in. We'll talk more about that. Some of the other details that are going on. We'll discuss that. The latest too on the other side of this thing, which is still an unanswered question about what the NBA is going to do about the social justice aspect of this discussion. We have not had that discussion either Two separate but very important parts of this whole thing. We'll get to that. We're also going to spin the wheel of conversation in this hour. Hour number 3, Rob Fisher is going to join us. So plenty to get to in the Family Leisure Studios. Sports 56 Mornings, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
At Advance Auto Parts, we take the guesswork out of your oil change so you can get to work. Our experts will help you find the right oil, the right filter, at the right price every day. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol Edge, or Pennzoil Platinum with a qualifying premium oil filter for $33.99. Plus, get a free remote control car with purchase of 5 quarts of Mobil 1 after rebate. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Look out! Here comes the Green Lantern. Can we get, if we're doing this, can we just get like maybe a little hit of the Spider-Verse stuff, you know? Get a little hit of that Spider-Verse action?
Which action?
You know, I mean, there's Elevate would be great. You know, there's just a few tracks off that one of my favorite soundtracks in recent memory.
Oh, really?
Into the Spider-Verse.
We don't do soundtracks anymore.
We should, though.
We should. We absolutely should.
Because the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack, excellent, fantastic. My daughter listens to it quite a bit.
Okay. Good.
Sunflower from Post Malone, great track. Great track. Elevate, great track. Good. There's several. So it's worth checking out. Did you see that the Quaker Oats is removing the name and image of Aunt Jemima from the syrup?
Times are changing, man. We've known Aunt Jemima been an issue since, like, I snapped to reality in like 92, 93. Yeah. Like, no, we don't buy Aunt Jemima. Like it's that depiction of black people is an issue. The history behind it is very problematic. Why now? I don't get it. I'm glad that it's happening. It's happening a little late, but why now? I'm glad that Confederate flags are not being flown at NASCAR, but we've known that's been an issue for a while. Why now? I'm glad that Mike Gundy realizes that that network is not a real news network and is highly offensive, but why now? After years, decades of praising these types of things, what's changed now to make you finally sit up and listen and begin to realize, hey, you know what? This is problematic. We can still sell this stuff and just change the spokesperson from Aunt Jemima to somebody else. We can at University of Virginia, they're changing their logo, trying to get rid of all semblance of all Confederate symbols. Why now? You knew those were symbols way back when. And by way back when, I mean 2017, 2016, 2015. Why now? This is great, but I have that question, and I only ask that question so I know what needs to happen for the next part of this battle, for the next part of this fight, to end systemic racism across the United States. We're only talking about in the judicial branch. We're only talking about ending systemic racism as it pertains to laws and policing in black communities. We're not talking about ending it as far as like black health, or when you think about black wealth or the lack thereof, or when you think about educating black boys and girls. We're not talking about it when it comes to those institutions. We're only talking about it when it comes to this one, the justice system. So why now? And I ask that so I know what I need to say when those fights come, because those fights are coming on the heels of this movement. They are absolutely coming right behind them. So I just need to know what I need to say to you guys to get you to listen and move with some haste on some of these other issues of injustice in other institutions in America.
I don't know why the George Floyd killing was the thing, the catalyst for so much, and why this movement has taken off when the others didn't. I don't know if it has to do with I think part of it is what we've talked about, the lack of distractions and the climate of the coronavirus is sort of I think galvanized people mentally into kind of figuring out what it is that's really valuable to them and what's really going on. And you can't avoid thinking about these things. You can't avoid it with the ease that you could before. And there's so many other things that you could distract yourself with that really aren't there now. And so you kind of have to. And, were you going to go protest? Maybe you had other things going on. Maybe your kids had this, that, and the other. Well, now they don't have that. Yeah, maybe you can go and do that now. Maybe you're spending more time thinking about, the real deal. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I mean the Aunt Jemima stuff, Uncle Ben, all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Like it's been an issue for forever. I mean they made fun of it on SNL. The Tracy Morgan was Uncle Jemima. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember. I do remember.
But everyone
from
knew
so long
ago.
That
was from 20 some odd years ago, 30 years ago maybe, and they knew. Yeah, everyone knew how what a racial stereotype that was, and how ridiculously reductionist and everything else that was. But you just kind of went on with it. People are now realizing, I think the part of it is that the same thing that kind of related to the Mike Gundy stuff and players. I think people are demanding more and realizing that they can get it if they demand it and they talk about it and they want it and there's enough people behind it and there are enough people behind it that you can change the culture like that. Now, how far does that go? I don't know. How does that go all the way to changing banking systems and changing employment systems and changing educational systems? I mean, I doubt it. At this point, I wish it would, but I don't know that we're quite there yet. But maybe. I mean, now's the time. Now's the time to push as hard and as far, and keep pushing. because right now is the opportunity. And so it's a minor thing in the scheme of things, but it is very representative of how things around the country are changing and how you can't have an outmoded Aunt Jemima anymore. You can't have that kind of stuff and have it just be cool, like, oh, it's just one of those things. And like people just sort of shrug it off. People are not in the mood to shrug it off anymore.
I mean, Ole Miss got rid of Colonel Reb how many years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Moved on from him, moved on from his likeness how many years ago? And that was another one of those problematic type characters. And Ole Miss has been just fine. But they had the realization about a decade ago, I want to say. I can't remember exactly when they decided to stop with Colonel Reb. Why, when that happened, didn't others take stock of the situation and the times that we're living in and say, hey, you know what? We might need to move on from our racially insensitive character. Why, when Ole Miss decided to ban the Confederate flag from the stadium, and they couldn't even ban the flag, they had to ban the sticks, so that the flag was on. So when they decided to do that, why didn't NASCAR jump on board then? I'm glad that it's happening. It is also taking too long for these things to happen. I give University of Mississippi Ole Miss some credit though for being out in front of this a good bit out in front of this with some of the decisions that they've made at their university to try and make it a place where all feel welcome. I just wonder why everybody didn't make that move when they did. Or God forbid, even sooner than that. We've known that these things have been problematic for a long time. Black people have said and pointed out and even cracked jokes highlighting the fact that these things are problematic for us and for this nation. Why now are you listening? Because I need you to continue to listen when we begin to talk about some of these other injustices, like I said, taking place in other American institutions like health and education and finance. We need you guys to listen in also so we can truly make this a great place for everybody involved.
So Ole Miss, they retired with Colonel Reb back in 2003, and I think they came up with their new mascot in 2010.
So they moved on from Colonel Reb in 2003?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they had an identity crisis since 2010.
I like the land shark.
The
Are
Black
they?
Bears,
But
the land shark, the
Black Bear.
I'm cool with the land shark. Whoever followed Colonel Reb wasn't going to make it. So I figured the Black Bear wasn't going to make it. Land shark seems to be around for good.
Did you see UNLV took down their statue of the Mr. Reb or the Fighting Reb or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
They're the running rebels. They took down that statue. The donor apparently in the school had a discussion. I don't know what the content of that discussion was, but in any event, the statue's taken down preemptively before someone took it down for them, which would not be uncommon in today's climate right now. And so they're gonna have a discussion. How long did the name Rebels? I don't know how much longer that lasts, depending on what the references are for and what it means and all that stuff. Those are things that are discussions that are probably sometime in the future gonna be happening. As you mentioned, CJ, I think it's just the climate in the country has changed. It should have changed a long time ago. It hadn't, for whatever reason. It seems to be changing at this point. There's a statement by Victor Hugo who said, "More powerful than 1,000 armies is an idea whose time has come." And this is one of those things where I don't know why this is the time. I don't know why it couldn't have been done sooner. I don't know why we couldn't coalesce around these thoughts, years ago. I don't know why when David Fisdale was standing in front of the Confederate statues downtown and wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt that was a controversy and everyone was sort of shying away from it in some respects. And why now that's just you've got Ryan Silverfield tweeting out Black Lives Matter. Stuff with the Tiger logo, and we've changed it. That was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, the idea, the time of that idea has come, and so I'd say now take full advantage, and that means Aunt Jemima out. That means these other outdated stereotypes out. That means statues out. That means this is Ja Morant trying to push for the removal of that Confederate statue in Murray, Kentucky. So many other Confederate statues all around the South and around the country. It hit the bricks. Now's the time. I mean, it should have been years ago, but now's the time.
Yeah, just thinking 3 years ago, man, had a player like Ja Morant written a letter like that, he would have been met with such vitriol, such hate, such disdain. And now the act is being met with pride. Like, this is our guy right here standing up for what is right and fighting for the little guy and fighting for the people who have been disenfranchised and people who were wronged by the men on those statues. Amazing what a difference 3 years can make. And it is remarkable, truly remarkable to look at where we were even in 2018 versus where we are now, where we were in 2016 when Carmelo and LeBron and Dwayne and Chris Paul got up on that ESPY stage and said what they had to say. And that was tame. That wasn't anything that was really, like, I don't want to say militant, but it wasn't anything that was near as impassioned as what we're seeing others do right now. And even that act was met with a little bit of shut up and dribble. Now those types of things are expected of athletes. It's expected of people with a large platform. Not only those people, but it's expected for everybody to sit here and say, no more. This is it. We're not going to take these statues, this flag. We're not going to take this sort of systemic abuse of black people anymore. And it's great to see that it is happening right now. And I'm glad that I'm living through a bit of history right now. And I hope that it continues on through, not just from the athletes and the celebrities who we all like to watch and be entertained by talking about criminal justice issues, but I hope that once we get this thing in a better place, we can then turn and look and say, hey, you know what's a real shame? Black women dying during childbirth. That is alarming right now. That is shocking. How can we claim to be a people that's pro-life, and we've got pregnant women out here dying on pregnancy tables because physicians and nurses aren't taking their complaints seriously? Like, I look forward to it getting to that point. I look forward to it getting to the point where we get that particular issue in a better place. And it is, hey, we've got to do a better job educating our children. Hey, we've got to do a better job of setting up systems to help everybody accumulate wealth and not try and steal wealth from them, as has been the case in Chicago and black neighborhoods and around the nation. I look forward to it getting to that point as well. This is huge, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
I agree, and I hope that the conversation continues, but more than just a conversation. I hope the action continues long after the conversation, because we've had enough talking about it. Some of the players made the point, and I totally agree with this. Like Avery Bradley was talking about this yesterday. What good is more awareness? Everyone's pretty aware.
Everybody knows.
Awareness is not the issue. Raising awareness is a canard that people will throw out there. It doesn't really have any meaning anymore. It's a fig leaf that covers that sort of rhetoric. It doesn't get to the bottom of what's really going on, and awareness of that. Raising awareness. Okay, you know about it now. What? You're aware of it. Is that the end of it? So, the idea of the platform and having more awareness and having more people see it. People see it. Who isn't aware of what's going on in the country? Who isn't aware of at least a very basic level of understanding of why this is happening? If you're not aware of it, it's because you don't want to be. And if you don't want to be, nothing that Avery Bradley or Chris Paul or LeBron James or any other NBA player says is going to change your mind. So I reject that as a value proposition for the players. Maybe there are other things they can do, and we could talk about that. But in terms of just having a platform and being aware, if you're not aware by now, it's because you don't want to be aware, and nothing's going to change that. We'll come back and we'll talk about some of the other specifics of that that platform. Rob Fisher coming up 9 o'clock. Lots to get to. Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar? Your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick. The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus traded towards any tailor-made inline golf clubs. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Napa know-how.
Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping on over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $50 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Batman. Superpower, being rich.
Love it.
I saw somebody. Never mind.
Zach's favorite. What? Uh-oh. What?
I saw somebody pose the question, why is Batman's mouth uncovered? Like everything else in him is covered. The mask only goes so far. It stops.
Mm-hmm.
So you see his mouth. Somebody said it was because he needed to let the police know he was white.
Is Batman always white?
Yes. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten that alternate.
We've never gotten Black Batman.
We should get a Black Batman, just from a comic book story standpoint. We've talked. I don't know if we talked about it on air.
We talked about this
off air, like the things you can do with that storyline. With a black vigilante is like Batman. With a black vigilante like Black Batman is.
We're not putting him in the hood, are we?
No.
No. But the perception of Batman's behavior would be different if it were, and the relationship that he has with the local law enforcement of Gotham City would probably be different if he were black. You would think.
It would explain more of that contentiousness that exists between the Bat versus GCPD.
Right. And there would be interesting the way that it was perceived by the public at large. There's all sorts of different ways you could tell that story. That would be fascinating. Like if you want to do like a we talk about like Miles Morales kind of thing with Spider-Man, like you could do a kind of a similar thing. Hey, speaking of which. So we need this. We need Into the Batverse. So this is like, why can't we get like Into the Batverse? Why are they scared of it?
I don't think anybody. We've talked about it, but we need the DC creators to get behind it and push for the creation of an alternate reality, an alternate universe.
It's there's so many options, so many opportunities to open things up here. This is fantastic. So I'm excited. That's going to be cool. Now we've talked about the potential reopening and what would happen from a social justice standpoint. The NBA really has not addressed that part of it, and that's the part that's still. They've got a great detail on every protocol and every situation and every possibility and every dilemma. Can you play ping pong? Can you play cards? Can you go here? You're gonna wear the Magic Band. You're gonna have all this stuff. But what they have not really done is address the specifics about how they are going to raise awareness ? Do some kind of a acknowledgement of the social justice aspect of this. The time that we live in, that's something that players have been pretty staunch upon. That they wanted something like this, and we haven't seen any details on that. So I think that's kind of telling that maybe they can't figure it out. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're still in negotiations. Maybe they're figuring all that stuff out. There will be something. I'm sure it will be all over the place. But how? That I think is still something that some of these players I'm sure would like to see before they feel really comfortable with where the situation is.
Yes, the NBA's dealing with a lot, man. Got to first make sure you can come back safely or as safe as humanly possible, and then you got to deal with this. This is not any easier an issue to figure out than playing in the midst of a global pandemic. It's going to take a little bit of time. They've got till next week, the players do to sign off and play, so hopefully the NBA comes up with an adequate plan on that front by then.
I hope so. I hope the adequate that will be that will be telling to see where's the NBA's priorities. How serious are they about being about it, not just talking about it, but being about it. And Avery Bradley also talks about a lot of the owners needing to step up and pay for some of this stuff and getting involved financially and involved and physically and being there and all. And we talked about it. There's been a lot of silence from a lot of these owners. Yeah, I think the players are noticing that in all these sports. We'll talk about it with Rob Fisher, who will be part of the coverage one way or the other as the Grizzlies get back into action. It would appear in the next month or so. We'll talk to Fish about that and much more on the other side. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Folks, Bob Burke coming for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Lots of vehicles to choose from at Sunrise. Trucks, SUVs, late model used cars, and cars under $10,000. Rebates up to $6,500. Interest rates low as 0% and immediate financing available. Come on in, call, or go online to sunrisememphis.com. You can schedule an appointment, select your vehicle, appraise your trade-in, arrange financing, and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep. All cars disinfected and ready to go. Need service or body work? Bring it to Sunrise or go online to schedule an appointment. Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The world's best dads deserve the best Father's Day gifts, and Ace is the best place to find them. We have a great collection of brands dads trust, like outdoor power equipment from Steel and Ego, power tools from Milwaukee, grills from Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Weber, and coolers from Yeti. Find them at your neighborhood Ace or order online for curbside pickup or delivery and make this Father's Day one dad will always remember with gifts he'll love from Ace. At participating stores, see store for details.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
To yours, Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
This is Eli Savoy from Sports 56 Middays. Join Greg and me as we hit the road again. That's right, we've been locked up too long, so we'll head to Frontier Western Store on Goodman Road in Olive Branch this Friday from 10 to 1. Come join us as we'll have all types of prizes and giveaways, as well as lunch catered by Moe's Southwest Grill. What a great place to get that special gift for a special dad with Father's Day on Sunday. We'll see you Friday from 10 to 1 at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, as we hit the road again.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't miss out on anything. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 on social media. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Aquaman?
No.
Aqua Girl?
No.
Is this the Laner?
No.
Okay.
Terminator?
No.
Avatar?
No.
Who is it?
Captain Marvel.
Ah.
Captain Marvel. welcome back. Hour number 3 is here, brought to you by our friends at Acura of Memphis. I'm Peter Evanston. He is CJ Hurt. That's Zach Boyd, a.k.a. Similac Zach, a.k.a. the Deacon of the Dollar, a.k.a. the Baron of Not Sharon. He is producing the program, as he does every single day. We've been sharing the orchestral hits of various superhero movies throughout the program, and we'll continue to do that in hour number 3. It's been a busy day. By the way, the Premier League is back today. It starts its return noon, double header. So you've got Sheffield United against Aston Villa, followed by the much more popular matchup, Manchester City against Arsenal. That's 2:15 kickoff. Empty arenas, but they will be feeding in some crowd noise and doing some other fun stuff throughout the broadcasts. But they are back. The Premier League is back. There'll be a bunch of matches throughout the next few days. So if you're a soccer person like myself, soccer is making its way back.
Good. I'm happy for you.
If you're a baseball person, screw you. You got nothing. And there's very few baseball people I know more so than Rob Fisher. The Hatchet Man joins us now to talk about the baseball season so far. And here's the update on that. It's not happening, Fish.
No.
So
Flag Day, my friend Mike Claiborne always said the season starts on Flag Day. And that's when you start to figure out who's who. But Flag Day now has passed. And we don't know who's who, and we don't know if they're even going to play.
When was Flag Day?
I believe it was Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
It just passed this weekend. Let me look for you real quick. Flag Day was
June 14th.
Yeah, 14th.
So whatever day
Sunday.
that
All
was.
right. Well, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
So,
Okay.
so Flag Day is come and gone, huh?
Yeah,
We
come and
hardly
gone,
need
and no baseball played. And boy, it was really, uplifting to hear the commissioner on ESPN Monday night just basically say, "Yeah, we're in danger of not playing." It was like, man, I'm glad he went first because it could only go uphill from there.
Days after he had said they're 100% going to play. He's doing a bang up job, Rob Manfred. You gotta give him that.
Baseball screwing something up and making a controversy out of nothing. But that's not the first time.
What happens from here, though?
I don't know. I mean, the players' union is so strong, and I mean, they're going to get their 100%. It's just a matter now of whether they'll play 50 games, which is ridiculous. I mean, their negotiations are unbelievable to me. When the owner said, we'll play 48 games, players said 114. I mean, come on, man. And then it went like to 70 and to 90, and then it was like 70 plus, but you're only getting 50% of your pay. I mean, it's like, what? What do you mean we're only getting 75% of the pay, I guess, at that point? Players are going to get 100% of their pay. And, I mean, if you're going to play 70 games and get 75% of your pay, why not play 50 games and get 100%?
Mm-hmm. That math adds up to me. I did flunk out of pharmacy school, so
yeah,
but I passed pharmacy math. Pharmacy math I did okay in.
Yeah, and I was a math genius before this new math.
Well, as everyone knows, I am a certified mathlete. That's the important.
Yes, that's true.
thing.
That's true. Yeah,
everyone has known that.
Real mathletic.
I got statues and everything to prove it. My performance in math counts was. I
need one of your jerseys to hang up in my dungeon. Do you have a jersey?
I got to get you one. We didn't really have jerseys. We had sort of the white collared shirt kind of thing. But I could give you the TI-83 that I use. Sort of shadow box that and put that in there. I can make that happen. Graphic calculator and all that.
As long as you sign it, if you sign it, then I'll put it up in the dungeon.
I'll sign it, and it does have the game Drug Wars on it, so you have to watch out for that. That people.
Okay.
You remember that? Does anyone remember that, or is that?
I do.
Yeah, back
it was Drug Wars, Pac-Man, and
Snake.
Snake was the other one that we could get on there.
Yeah. You could put those games on your calculator and play games in school. It was
like, CJ, why are you in study hall with your Latin book out, but a calculator? What are you calculating? Give me your calculator while doing Latin homework. Like, you got me.
Man, the Pac-Man watch. Remember the Pac-Man watch?
Oh.
No, I missed that.
Absolutely. I remember
It was tough to play Pac-Man on a watch.
Oh.
We were it was desperate times. Like you would play anything on anything. Those little Tiger games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like, it was nothing. It would make little beeps and boops, and you couldn't even see anything, but you loved it because it was just a game.
Right.
You could just play it. And
Yeah.
that was it. We were desperate. I remember I snuck in a black and white TV, a little miniature black and white TV into school one time for the NCAA tournament when I was like 9 or 10, and you couldn't see anything. I couldn't tell. I could just barely hear it, and that's all I needed.
Little handheld black and white. Yeah, those were great. Oh man, the good old days.
The back in the day, right? And the jam boxes, like people listen to our show on jam boxes, you know.
Yeah,
boom boxes. They take them out and rock out to it. So Fish, we've learned a little more about the protocol and the thing that's going on down at Disney for the NBA. 113-page memo where there's lots of details about washing, ping pong. Well, card playing, the cards will be disposed of after every game. So you can't play cards, you can't play ping pong, there will be DJ sets, you can't play video games.
Right.
Do you think, like, reading all this, it just seems crazy to me. Do you think this is actually going to work?
I mean, it's going to work because it's going to happen. Will it work well? I don't know. I mean, I think it turned out, just from reading some of the details, and by reading the details, I mean Shams' tweets. I think that they've tried to make it a little more free than what initially you felt like. I mean, initially you felt like these guys are going to be sequestered to their rooms, and they can come down for meals, and then they got to go back to their rooms, and it was just going to be nothing. But it sounds like they're trying to make it a little more comfortable and as comfortable as they can for the players. Will it work? Yeah, it's going to happen, but it'll be weird, just like everything else that's going on in the world.
What's the weirdest thing that stands out to you in the new proposed or the new guidelines for the NBA season? Is it the you can't play doubles ping pong? Is it the fact that the lesser teams have to stay at the yacht club? What is it?
Well, I like that they did that. I think that was kind of interesting to give the higher seeds the better accommodations. I thought that was good. The doubles ping pong, that's the one that gets me. You can play ping pong, but no doubles ping pong, which that's too bad because you got to have your 6 feet. The thing that got me too was these alarms that they're going to wear on their legs and these rings that they can wear on their fingers. I mean, my goodness. And I was talking to a staff member that will be there last night, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to have like an alarm on my leg that when I get close to people, it's going to go off." I mean, that's really weird. I mean, it feels, it feels like you're just, I don't know. We still don't know. You guys ask every week if we're going to be going. We still don't know for sure, but I'm still pretty positive and that we won't be going and we'll be doing the games remotely. But just the thought of being there for 2 months or longer, and I don't know, man, it would drive me crazy. So I wouldn't be upset if we don't go, to be honest with you.
That Green Lantern power ring is something else, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know we had that technology.
We got this stuff now. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. We got great facial recognition now. We got a lot of stuff now, CJ.
Is it great? Facial recognition?
Well, it's great technology. I don't know if it's great for us as human beings.
I mean, I don't. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go on the side of not so great personally. But
I mean, I don't know if you watched the John Oliver show, but holy cow, what they're doing with facial recognition is just it's frightening. Frightening stuff.
You're exactly right about that. And just FYI,
but it's one of my favorite television terms, especially Jack Bauer on 24. Always just went back to facial recognition. And on television, facial recognition is easy.
Big time.
Hey, we're looking for a guy with blue eyes. Boom, there he is. There he's right there.
White shirt, blue eyes.
Yep, got him.
Boom. Enhance
is the other one. I was going to say that. Enhance. Facial recognition and enhance.
Yes.
They can enhance license plates like nobody's business. Unbelievable.
We can read.
How do people ever get away with anything when you got that technology?
I know. You would think we'd solve more cases in this country, but we don't. I don't know. It's weird. Also, a bit of great news for the NBA. Now, when you're flying down there, Fish, you've been to Orlando a few times for the NBA. Do you guys fly into Orlando International Airport?
I don't know.
I mean, is it like a big airport, or is it like what is it? Where do you fly? Do you know? Do you remember seeing
I don't
anything?
know. I don't know. I don't know.
You're on the plane, Fish. Okay, what do you remember about this trip? Have you been to Orlando?
We land in a little private area, get off our plane, get on the bus, and boom, we're out. So I never know which airport we're at. So we're at Orlando International. Yep.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I'm just saying. Well, I bring it up because news this morning breaking from the Orlando area that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said 260 workers at the Orlando International Airport have tested positive for coronavirus after nearly 500 employees were tested. So they tested nearly 500. That means not 500, like 490, and 260 tested positive. That is
over 50%.
That's not. I mean, I am a mathlete, so I can tell you that is over 50%.
Oh my God!
I know. I wanted to say it before you. Wow.
So I don't know. Are they going to bust down? I mean, what are we going to do here?
Bust it
seems
down.
like it may be problematic here a little bit. I'm not sure. What are we?
New definition.
Gonna
new
take
meaning.
the trains? That's all right. We're going to take the train down. What are we going to do? 260 workers.
New meaning of busted babies.
Holy lands! What are we? It is a new.
Yeah, that's
what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come on, guys.
Well,
come on, Orlando. You're trying to host all these. Come on, man.
Yeah, and JJ Redick pointed out it's not a real bubble when the workers get to come and go, and the way things are in Florida. I mean, I guess they're going to be tested every day and take their temperatures and all that stuff too. So, or they won't be tested every day, I don't think, but they'll be. I can't remember what it was, but they're going to have their temperatures taken and all that stuff. So, I don't know. It's going to work, Peter. I mean, it just has to. You can't do this and then shut it down again. I mean, I think they have every intention of it not being shut down and just getting through it. I mean, when it starts, that's what everybody's just going to hope for. Let's just get through it. Let's get through it with nothing horrendous happening, as far as the game is concerned, and, players that would have to miss time and things like that. And let's get through it, crown a champion, and start focusing on next year and figuring out, what we can do next year in case there are no fans. How are you going to figure out next season? So it's just wanting to get through, wanting to play basketball, wanting to see games, and then getting through it. I mean, for how much I can't wait to see games and see this format and how it's going to play out. While I want to watch it and I can't wait to see it, I just hope we get through it.
Yeah, I think everybody does as well. They've got enough stuff to keep players entertained with good wholesome fun, but that good wholesome fun isn't going to keep people from trying to leave or trying to sneak folks in. Like James Harden is somebody who is famous for enjoying the gentleman's ballet performance and performers. And when you got that in you, when you built that habit up of going out of town and hitting up the ballet from time to time, like living for 2 months without it is going to be tough.
Yeah, and having the fun just having the fun that they have. I mean, their fun's a little different than some people's fun.
Can you do a lap dance without the lap?
A lap? Or a dance? I don't. I don't know.
Can we keep that contact free? That would seem to sort of take away some of the appeal of it, I would think.
Well, one group can't touch anyway, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I've heard.
My understanding is that may be true, although there may be some circumstances where that may, in fact, that may not always be strictly enforced.
I've heard that too.
I've heard that as well. So a lot of rumors circulating about these sorts of things.
It's the one thing about going to Orlando that I've maybe the only reason that I'd like to go. Just it's such a different experience, and unlike anything that we've ever been through, and hopefully anything we'll go through going forward. But the experience of it, just to see the atmosphere and see what it's like, and to live that weird life, more quarantine, and even more quarantine than what you're doing right now. So it would be an experience to remember. But yeah, it's crazy.
Rob, you chopped down a whole tree this weekend. How with that little hatchet?
Used a couple of other devices.
Okay.
Too.
All right, I thought it was just the hatchet. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
No, I got the Fiskars Lobers and the Fiskars big tree cutter downer thing. And
wait, the what?
Fiskars, Fiskars, Fiskars.
Yeah, but what the Fiskars tree cutting down thing?
Apparently, there's a thing called a Lober.
A
Lober. I didn't know what it was called, a Lober. And we have this tree that you used to be able to not stand underneath because it hung down so low. But I trimmed it up, gave it a nice haircut. Now you can actually walk under it. It looks beautiful. And then I used the big tree limb cutter thingy that you can extend up in the air. And I did that for the big tree and just cut down a bunch of limbs. Man, I was just cutting down limbs. It was fun. These things are so powerful. You just cut down limbs and you feel like a master of the trees when you're cutting down these limbs.
A regular Paul Bunyan.
Master of trees.
Yeah.
Regular
Master
Johnny Appleseed over here.
Yeah.
Except the opposite.
Oh, true.
And then I took out some big roots along the way, so the creeks can flow a little more freely, and took those out. So yeah, they were there, and they were huge, man. They were huge. But this Cobalt camping axe that I use, fantastic product.
I love hearing about the latest products and services that you like and you enjoy.
Yeah, I think the Cobalt people are starting to think that I'm kind of crazy. Because they keep tweeting me back. Well, first they were upset with me for a while because they kept telling me I needed to wear goggles, safety goggles.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So now I'm wearing safety goggles out of their recommendation. And so now when I tweet things out, they used to call me Hatchet Man. They were like, keep up the good work, Hatchet Man. Now they say, keep working hard, Rob. and that's
I think they're trying to.
That's kind of the tone that I take it as. So that's disappointing.
I just think they're worried because if they start to acknowledge you as Hatchet Man, then they're going to have to also start acknowledging you financially. You know, and the Cobalt Hatchet Man, brought to you by Cobalt, and then the money's going to have to start flowing in, or else, they're going to take that fame of yours, and someone else may monetize it. And so I think they're a little worried about that.
Well, that's kind of what I took from their last tweet. Using my first name, Rob, and not using Hatchet Man. And then I took it as that tone. I took it basically as a reading between the lines that said, "Quit trying to put us in your tweets. We're not giving you any free stuff."
Have you thought about this? Just
again, that's unfortunate. That's why I'm really pumping Fiskars this week. The Fiskars Lobers and the tree limb cutter downers.
Did you just say you're pumping Fiskars here this week?
Pumping Fiskars. Yeah.
That's the name of your new podcast? Pumping
Yes.
Fiskars?
Okay.
That's exciting.
That or Hatchet Job. I don't know. One of the two.
That's going to get certainly get an audience. I don't know if it's the audience that you want, but it's definitely going to get an audience. And that's the important thing. I think why don't you monetize this on YouTube? Why don't we get a Hatchet Man channel? Hey guys, Hatchet Man here with the latest Cobalt product to help you with your root removal, and then do like a little 2 or 3 minute little video on YouTube and throw that in and be like, hey guys, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about the video. I mean, there's some of that stuff that I think you could really pull off. To be honest with you,
tell Cobalt what you think of me.
Tell Cobalt what you think. Hey guys, we really appreciate it. Those likes and subscribes, man, they mean a lot to us. Please come on in and bang that like button and let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the thread. I'll be happy to hatchet whatever it is that you comment. You want me to hatchet a Coke can? Sure, no problem. You put those in the comment threads. I'll hatchet whatever. I'm the Hatchet Man. Let's go.
Right through a Coke can and then a tomato.
A tomato. That's right. Wham! Look how smooth this blade is. Unbelievable. I'll cut a shoe in half for no apparent reason. In a frozen
I'll start
food.
running out of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting right here. Come on, let's get this. Come on, everybody, hit that like button. Let's go, smash it.
Yeah, man.
Crush that like button. Let's get it going. Okay, so what's going to be first? Hatchet Man brought to you by Cobalt or baseball game being played this year?
Oh, wow. That's a hard question. I guess a baseball game. I guess they'll play. I don't know. I mean, they can't be that.
They can't
right?
not play, right? I mean, surely.
Right. I mean,
but you would have thought they would have already been playing by now, right, or something. I mean, come on.
Yes, they should be playing by now, and they'll play, and the players will whine and complain because that's what baseball players do because they're a bunch of babies and with their goatees and their eye black and
the shell necklaces and all that stuff. Yeah,
their shell necklace. Yeah, I mean that's baseball players, and as a former baseball player myself, I can say that. They're pain in the asses, basically. But they'll play, and we'll have some baseball, and it'll be interesting. I think a bad thing for baseball is you're going to play 50 games. It's going to be a dash for the cash, and basically people are going to say, "Well, that was awesome. We should cut the season down to 50 games." No, we're going to keep it 162 going forward. So I think that could be bad.
For the blog. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it could make baseball compelling. Could make it kind of exciting, that it would be every single game really means something instead of, a May game against, I don't know, the Marlins and on a Tuesday afternoon in May. I mean, what is a getaway day where nobody plays? I mean, how much does that mean? So, but a 50-game schedule where every game would matter, it could be compelling for, casual baseball fans or for fans who aren't baseball fans who are just starved for sport. It might be a little more enticing for them. So that's probably going to be bad for baseball, but it's something baseball never thought through because they offered 48 games to begin with. So they don't think about these things because they just don't run their business very well.
A lot of things they don't think about and didn't think about until now. That's true of a lot of us. Rob Fisher, a.k.a. Hatchet Man, joining us. As always, thank you. Great stuff. Appreciate it. And I look forward to more of your sponsored content soon.
Absolutely, man. Just check it out.
Work that in. Can you work that into the broadcast when you guys are back on the air?
What? Cobalt Tool?
Well, I mean, maybe Cobalt Tool, sure. I mean, Hatchet Man, some kind of Hatchet Man reference. I mean, you got to work this in somehow. I think
there's a good chance that would happen. Yeah, we might even have some video. I don't know. You never know.
Come on, we got to do that, and Keegan certainly got to be involved now with her Keegan Sports situation. I mean, there's no question.
Well, we're setting her up to take my spot when my day has come.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah, then she'll take over. So yeah, I'm kind of setting that up, just planting the seeds, if you will. That's by the way that's the other name of my other podcast, Planting the Seeds.
So many podcasts.
So pumping Fiskars and planting the seeds. Is that what we're going with?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, and what was last week?
For sure. Oh,
dip it into it or something.
I forgot last week. Oh, what was last week? Oh man, I gotta go back and listen. Fish, you're the best. Love you, buddy.
Fellas, look forward to next week.
Thanks, Rob.
Sounds good, my friend.
I got
Rob Fisher. He is awesome. Love talking to Fish. We're going to spin that wheel of conversation. Some good news on the local front as well. It's been a bad news, good news kind of morning. So we'll get to a little bit of both here as we continue. The Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
America's ready to get back to work, but to win in the new economy, you need NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite surveyed hundreds of business leaders and assembled a playbook of top strategies. As America reopens for business, receive your free guide, 7 actions businesses need to take now, and schedule your free product tour too at netsuite.com/herd, netsuite.com/HERD.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you.
Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
For 95 years, Saia LTL Freight has hit the road to deliver the goods that keep businesses and communities moving. Now, in this uncertain time, we won't stop going that extra mile, because at the end of the day, we are all in this together for the long haul. Saia LTL Freight, driving stability, safety, support, and strength. Visit Saia.com. That's SAIA.com.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Exciting. I feel like we're zooming over the city right now.
Is it Thor?
No.
Iron Man?
No.
Who?
The Flash.
Oh. Okay.
You didn't know that?
No. Why would I pay the Flash any attention? I didn't either.
Because he's fast.
Okay.
The Flash.
Peter sort of gave it away. He said
I did.
zooming around the city.
Exactly. I didn't even realize I was giving it away. I had no idea what this was, but that's what it made me feel
This
like.
is CW joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the music clearly was properly evocative, because that was what it made me think about. So well done to the musical people.
Yes, musical people. Good job.
That's what I call them, musical people.
Okay.
Zach, when are you getting some, like, when are you getting back? How are you keeping the composing or the conducting? How's that going? I mean, are you keeping your conducting arms warm? I mean, for those that don't know, Zach conducts an orchestra, in the church scene. He's out there, with the baton. He's waving it around. He's getting folks to play at a certain rhythm and other folks to play at a different rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
How are you keeping loose and warm in this environment?
Oh, we on break. Oh, we're just chilling right now.
But I'm saying, but what are you? Are you
going through like any drills or anything like that to keep yourself right?
Off season, you're not doing anything.
No, there's no particular drills. I mean, from time to time, like I will like start doing a 4 count for no reason, like around the house. Like,
what?
Give me like a 3-4. I mean, come on.
Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So something like sometimes I go through like those type of routines, but other than that, no, I really don't do much.
What's your favorite time signature?
Definitely 4/4. It's so much easier, and we keep everybody in time.
3/4 is a little tricky. 2/4. 5-4. Ooh, watch out for 5-4.
And now,
God forbid a 7-4.
And now, imagine taking all of those time signatures and like mixing them into the piece.
Zach, I would love to imagine it, but I don't have any idea what you're talking about, so I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's craziness, man.
Did you share the video I sent to you with Zach?
I have not.
You might appreciate the time signature on that guy.
I'll have to.
That guy's got a good time signature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Please share that. I want to get Zach's thoughts on his compositional ability. It's very, very important. You got the wheel ready?
Do I have the wheel ready?
So before we do the wheel, a couple of bits of news. Number one, do you want the bad news first? Or the good
bad news always goes first.
Southern Heritage Classic canceled.
Okay.
Very, very bad news.
Yes.
For those that have not heard, Southern Heritage Classic has been canceled. First, major football event in the country to be canceled outright. Yeah, obviously there are others that may well join the Southern Heritage Classic, but because of all the various difficulties of trying to put the thing on and just all the limitations and everything else that folks are dealing with, it just was not going to happen this year. So very, very unfortunate for the city, unfortunate for everybody involved. Just stinks all the way around. So.
What this might mean for like Turkey Day or Florida Classic or the Detroit Classic, which TSU is also a part of. Somebody hit me up on Twitter and said TSU, if they lose both classics, that's about $750,000 gone from their athletic department. And if you're a FCS school, that's a lot of money from your athletic department. Sports could be cut from some of these HBCUs if these classics, if they don't get those payouts. So it's a lot to really, really bad news and serious ramifications.
Yeah, that's a insane amount of money. On the good side, the University of Memphis has announced, and they've cut the ribbon on the brand new indoor practice facility.
Hey,
a virtual ribbon cutting ceremony.
Okay,
that's what we're doing now. We're doing the virtual,
right? Or the drive ups.
Yeah, that's right. But you don't want to drive up and cut the ribbon because that's dangerous to drive around with scissors poking into your car.
You certainly can't run with scissors. I assume
you definitely can't drive with scissors.
Again.
No, you should not drive with scissors either. But yes, it's been a very, 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 very long journey and a very difficult one. But they have got it squared away. The $11.2 million indoor practice facility is open for business. So good news for the University of Memphis and Tiger fans as a whole.
Yes, very good news. I'm happy for them.
I'm glad my tuition money chipped in for the cause.
Did it?
That's a lot of money.
I don't think so.
A lot of money. I don't think so either. But who knows? All right. Let's spin that wheel of conversation. Got 13 topics. I don't know what they are.
I don't either.
Neither does CJ. Neither does Zach. But we're going to find out what the wheel has told us.
Okay.
What is it?
Movie you're embarrassed to tell people that you like. You're like, I know I shouldn't like this as much as I do, but I really like it.
Woo! Zach, what do you got?
I got nothing, man.
Text is 67129. Movie you're embarrassed to say that you like.
Our good friends at Acura of Memphis bringing this hour of the program. Listen, only pride comes with owning an Acura from Acura of Memphis, that brand new RLX, TLX, the SUVs that are absolutely spectacular, the MDX, the RDX. Whether you're looking for that sedan or that SUV, they've got you covered. And they can do it in person. A lot of you want to go and see. Obviously, you're fine with going to the dealership. Well, they are open and ready for you at right at the corner of kind of Ridgeway and near Ridgeway and Mount Moriah, but 385 and Ridgeway. You get right off of the Ridgeway exit, 385. You can't miss it. So you want to go see them, you can see them right there. But for those of you that want to do it virtually, you want to do over the video conference, or if you want to do over the phone or whatever, they got you covered there, and they can deliver the vehicle right to your home or business, no additional charge. So whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, they've got you covered. Acura of Memphis. You can find them again, 385 in Ridgeway, or start the online circumstances and all that stuff at really simply AcuraofMemphis.com. You will appreciate what they do for you, and you'll appreciate that service that they bring you at Acura of Memphis. Zach, what you got? For those that don't know, whenever we do the wheel conversation, I always start with Zach to buy myself time.
Honestly, I don't have anything. I mean, the only thing that I could say is probably like one of the rom-com movies.
Which one though?
Yeah, there's so many.
I mean,
and there are some really good rom-coms.
Right. Was it? I watched the Silver Lining with
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, with Jennifer Lawrence, and Bradley Cooper. The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
Those are good movies, though. Are you?
Yeah, those
are
are just good movies.
Yeah, you've got to have a movie. I'll go. I am shamed. I picked this on the wheel because of the Wild Wild West conversation we had when we talked about worst movies of all time. I really, really like Wild Wild West, and I can acknowledge that it's a bad, terrible movie. Another one, Pootie Tang. I don't know why I like Pootie Tang.
I like Pootie Tang too.
It is awful. And Soul Plane. Soul Plane. Those are my three. Soul Plane. And the Ninja Turtle movie. The
second one.
No, no. The third one where they go back in time is up there, but it is not as bad as the Ninja Turtle rock opera or the Ninja Turtle musical. That is terrible. Yes, you should watch it. It is awful, and I love it. I loved it as a child, and I love it so much. Even watching it as a child, I was like, oh, this is a bad movie. I probably shouldn't tell people I like this movie so much, but I would watch it every single day. Every chance I could, I would watch that Ninja Turtle movie. But for me, Soul Plane, I think, might take the cake. Soul Plane is just like, why am I laughing so hard at this? This is a terrible movie.
I will tell you, Pootie Tang was I liked Pootie Tang.
It's not. I like it too.
But it was a surprising. The story was surprising, and I don't know. It was just a weird. It was a weird movie, and I don't know. It's short. I don't know. It's weird. That's all I can say. But I liked it. I thought it was interesting, and the story was kind of bizarre. And there's a sort of a messianic element to Pootie Tang that's weird. But that's a different discussion for a different day. Okay, so as far as my embarrassment, Ladybugs.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
That's not a good movie.
Soccer movie?
That's not a good movie. Rodney Dangerfield. No, it is not a good movie. I love that movie, but it's not a good movie. Do not under any circumstances.
I really like
that
movie. Oh man,
no, that is not.
Don't be embarrassed to like that one. Say that one loud and proud.
No, I will not. It is embarrassing, but I do like it. Mannequin and Mannequin 2, On the Move. Another example of a movie that, and I like Gremlins 2 more than I like Gremlins, and I think that's also a fairly embarrassing take to have, but I just do.
We have these same tastes in these awful movies because I love.
There's a certain
Gremlins
time
2.
period. There's a certain
Gremlins
time
2
period.
is great.
It's all very similar time period.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Harry Crumb is another one with John Candy. I love that. That's probably a good movie, but it's not one of his best ones. But it's one that I enjoy. It was done at a similar time to like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Uncle Buck and all that. It was not nearly as well received, but I really liked it. And it's in there in terms of an embarrassing. Like I'm not proud to say like, oh, I really like. That doesn't make me proud to say I like Mannequin 2, but I do like Mannequin 2.
There's something about these movies that are like, for instance, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle musical play that they decided to make a movie out of. Like their mouths move at random moments. You've got weird moments of song and singing going on. You've got really over the top acting from Shredder, who is also just insulting all of the children in the crowd and talking bad about them and their parents, telling them they're all mistakes and stuff like that. That is why that movie is like embarrassing. Soul Plane for me is embarrassing because all it is stereotypes. That is it.
Oh, yeah.
That is all Soul Plane is. Just stereotypical joke on top of stereotypical joke on top of another joke about stereotypes. And that is it. And I shouldn't laugh at those things. But I find them mildly funny. And in the case of Soul Plane, really funny. And that's why I'm embarrassed to like those movies. Gremlins 2, I didn't realize people didn't like Gremlins 2. That threw me.
No. No, people don't like Gremlins 2.
I love that.
Maybe the most the one that I really that I don't find the whole movie funny, but I find one or two things about the movie very funny. Is Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even bring myself to watch that one.
It's a terrible movie. I mean, it really is. It is terrible. However, there was one scene in particular, and I remember seeing it, and it made me laugh extremely hard. Like I was, like it was hurting my head. I was laughing so hard. This one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for the rest of the whole movie. I can't say it's great or even good. It is not, but one or two very funny little parts of it. So I will consider that a quote unquote guilty pleasure.
Zach, do you have one now?
I think I do. And this is coming from my childhood a little bit. So the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Oh, that's an awful, terrible movie.
So the thing about it is, like, as a kid, all I cared about was Power Rangers. Oh, great, Power Rangers, cool. Doesn't matter. Really didn't care about the graphics because all I cared about was the 6 people that was the main protagonist. But as I got older and I rewatched it, I'm like, good grief, like the quality of this movie is not good. And they literally was like building off of the fandom of Power Rangers to the point that they had to rewrite it in the script for the TV show to where they end up losing their powers again, but the Ninjor, I guess that's the guy name.
Careful with it.
I was trying to be
Careful
very precise.
Yes.
I was being
Enunciate that all the way.
I was trying to be very precise.
Peter, if I were you, I wouldn't even risk it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk. I wouldn't. It's not worth it to say Ninjor.
No,
that's rough. Ooh. Ooh.
But he granted them their powers.
Ooh. No, it's not. Oh, boy. Ivan Ooze was a villain. We talked about best villains yesterday.
Yeah.
Ivan Ooze has got to be the worst or amongst the worst villains of all time.
Throwing Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed, man.
They're all abysmal characters. They all just look weird and gross and sound weird and gross.
Thank goodness for the Ninjor.
Yeah. Saved us all, man.
There's no, as I've always said, there's no reason to say that word under any circumstance. Even in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you can't. Only the Black Ranger can say it.
No, he can't.
Because the new Black Ranger's white.
What?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the Black Ranger.
Oh,
and then when they did Power Rangers, the movie, they switched the Power Rangers up, and so the Black Ranger was white and the Yellow Ranger was black.
So in the TV series,
come on.
In the TV series, 3 of the Rangers left because they wanted to pursue their careers, and so they had to get replacements. And so the Black Ranger, who was black, he
Zach.
left. And so they brought in 3 new people, and so they end up replacing Zach with who was it? Aisha? Yeah, Aisha. Then Aisha got replaced by Tanya in Power Rangers Zeo.
An extraordinary amount about the Power Rangers.
Listen, man, like
he's 3 generations deep into Power Rangers knowledge
listen,
already.
like
That's incredible.
Like,
I had no
it's
idea.
my
I didn't know any
thing.
of this. This is very exciting.
I also
That's
like
your thing.
That's my thing. Power Rangers was a thing for me.
I also like what they did with those black names. Also, we go from Zach to who?
Aisha
To who?
to Tanya.
There we go.
And then in Power Rangers Turbo, we're going to TJ. So like we just keeping it going.
All right. Which color was Aisha was yellow. Which color was Tanya?
She was yellow.
Yellow also. Okay.
And that backstory was crazy too. How they wrote that.
Well, just so you know, if you are the white actor and you put on the Black Ranger suit, that still does not mean you could say that name.
No.
Very important. Even if you're trying to teach people or whatever, it just doesn't. No, you still can't do it. It's not.
No. Don't.
Just don't do it for your own sake. For your own sake. For the sake of the Power Rangers. For the sake of the universe.
And
That's a good one.
there's no need for you to be in blackface if you are the Black Ranger. Keep that in mind also.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I reminded people of that.
The mask
tells us. The mask tells us which Ranger you are. You got
good.
the little mastodon horns on the side. Yeah, we know exactly which Ranger you are.
So on the new, because they redid the movie, and so the new Rangers, they had the black guy as the Blue Ranger, and had the white guy as the black, and so the white guy was like, "Yo, I'm black," and he was like, "No, you're not. You're not."
I remember that part in the movie. That was a really good movie. I wonder why we hadn't gotten another one of those. The newest Power Rangers movie was really, really good.
There's so much Power Rangers information I have.
Listen, I could go as deep as you want it to be.
Hey, okay, all right.
I'm very
I don't know why you
well
don't get more dates
versed.
then. I don't know.
I am very well versed in this.
We'll come back. Oh man. Yeah, ladies. 360-8255. Real Sports Talk Sports 56 96.1 87.7.
R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale. For a limited time only, trade in your old clubs and receive a 50% bonus towards inline Callaway or Odyssey Stroke Lab products. All Nike, Adidas, Puma, and Under Armour apparel is now 25% off. Check out the Bushnell Tour V5 rangefinder, which measures up to 400 yards to the flag. And introducing Bushnell's Wingman, the world's first Bluetooth speaker with audible GPS distances. Edwin Watts Golf Shop's Father's Day sale going on now. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
Oh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol Chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a 3-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
I Buy Houses. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and C.J.
Considering we were flooded with calls during the break.
Say what?
So I'm assuming we were flooded with calls during the break, right?
Yes, very much so.
Zach, you'll have to tell us about how that plays out. We're excited about that. Welcome back. Who is this?
Iron Man.
Beat me to the punch.
I don't know if you noticed this, Zach, but I've been saying Iron Man after every break. So
eventually,
just say the wrong answer enough, and eventually it might be right.
Eventually, we shall see. We've talked about the possibility of baseball playing or not playing, and not playing is seemingly more and more possible. Dr. Fauci, the now legendary Dr. Fauci, is the name. You hear Dr. Fauci, and you think, oh, what's going on? He said, he told the LA Times yesterday, I would avoid playing it after the normal World Series time, the end of October when it starts to get cold. Said I would avoid that. Says that the virus is one that keeps fooling us. He said under most circumstances, viruses do better when the weather starts to get colder and people start spending more time inside as opposed to outside. The community has a greater chance of getting infected. So not only does baseball have to worry about the negotiations and getting the money right and everything else, they also have to worry about timing, because if they get too deep into all of this, then you're going to start to see a bigger risk. It's the same thing that football is dealing with, same thing that basketball is starting to deal with as well. You've got to get it right, and you got to get your timing right too. You can't go messing around with this stuff.
No, not at all. And this is why the news about the Southern Heritage Classic should be something that raises concerns from everybody who enjoys watching college football, not just HBCU football, but college football in general. Because if it's one of those things where the Southern Heritage Classic is saying, hey, we're the second week of the season, by the way, we're in September, it's still going to be hot, and we don't feel comfortable going forward with the Classic as is, what does that mean for classics that take place in Chicago and Detroit, and then extend that thought out further? What does that mean for schools who play football up in the Midwest? Could we see a situation, we've talked about this before, it's kind of died down a bit, but could we see a situation where Big Ten schools aren't playing, but Southeastern schools can? The ACC, which stretches up and down the Atlantic coast, could we see a situation where these Southern schools are able to play simply because of the climate and of the environment, whereas your Boston colleges and your Syracuses aren't? And what does that mean? What does that look like? How will we perceive that college football season? Man, this thing is so weird, and every day it changes a little bit more.
You have to have plans on top of plans on top of plans. But for baseball, obviously, just getting some kind of financial plan worked out is the number one thing. But the timing certainly matters, and everything else. The same thing that the NBA is dealing with, and with this news that there's a 52% infection rate at the Orlando International Airport with workers at the airport. Nearly 500 tested, and 260 came back positive. And considering that's going to be the through point for a lot of NBA players and their families and teams and all that coming up in the next few weeks, if it keeps getting worse down there, you're going to wonder whether this thing can go on. I don't know that you can keep the bubble as tight as you need to keep it, considering what's going on outside of it. We'll see. But Florida's got to get its act together if they want to keep putting themselves out there like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not looking real bright for them at this point in time. We got to get out of here. We're going to talk to our buddy Dustin Starr tomorrow. He's going to have some info on the WWE, who is also down there in Orlando with their performance center. They've had a positive test, and they're dealing with the fallout of all of that. We'll talk to him about some of that as well. Lots to get to for the remainder of the week. It'll be CJ's last day of the week.
Mm-hmm. My Friday.
That's right.
On a Thursday.
It'll be your Friday. Everybody, have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you then.